Okay. This video is for week 6. It's for the Joint and Motion Lab, and I'm going to be talking about the different joints and movements. First, for the joints, you have your fibrous joints that include the sutures. They are found in your skull, and they actually connect the different skull bones. And then you have the syndesmoses joints, and an example of that would be the distal joint found in your tibia and fibula. And then you have cartilaginous joints, and that includes symphyses, and an example of that would be found in your intervertebral discs. And then you have synchondroses, and that those joints are located, they're the articulations in the first 5 ribs, the most superior ribs. And then the last set of joints are synovial, and they include gliding, and that would involve your wrist and your hand kind of going in this motion. And then there is pivot, which would just be like turning your head no. You have your hinge, which is moving your elbow and your knee in this manner. And then there's the condyloid joints, which are found in your knuckles. And the saddle joints are, an example would be in your thumbs. And then you have the ball and socket joints, and that's just rotation, of your shoulder. It's also found in your hip bones. There's the part of the hip joints would be ball and socket. And then for movements, you have flexion, which would be, you have my head like this, and you bring it closer to your chest. And extension is opposite, and you would bring it away from your chest back up. And then you have abduction. An example, you would separate your fingers. And adduction is the opposite, and bring them back together. And then you have circumduction. If you stand in an anatomical position, circumduction would be this. And then you have rotation, which is just like a pivot joint. You move your head back and forth like saying no. And then you have pronation, which you stand your hands like this, and then they flip. And then supination would be the opposite of that, and you have your hands dorsally, and you flip them back to your palm. And then inversion be like turning your foot and like this, and eversion is the opposite, going out. And then you have dorsiflexion, and then the last is the plantar flexion, and you point your toes.